kids. Welcome. My name is Pastor Sue, and I used to be the pastor at Charlton a long time ago before I retired to help take care of my favorite granddaughter, Thea, who is right here with me.
Only granddaughter.
Maybe some of you remember her. She was only like a year old when I was there, and she will now be 10 in April. So, Thea and I were just about to dye some Easter eggs because Easter is almost here, isn't it? We've been counting down for 6 long weeks during Lent, and Easter is here. Thea, what is your favorite part about Easter?
The Easter egg hunt and candy.
Oh, candy, yes, and the Easter eggs. So we're going to get to dyeing Easter eggs a little later today, but for right now, I have a story.
Ooh, yay!
About eggs, in fact. Do you know when I was your age, Thea, and kids out there, I used to love to decorate Easter eggs and go for Easter egg hunts too. That was one of my favorite things. And because I just had a teeny tiny little yard and was an only child, I would go across the street to my cousins. They had a nice big yard, and that's where we would always have our egg hunt. But do you know what I found? I found out that my cousin, who was 3 years younger than me, always managed to get more eggs than I did. And I never thought that was fair, and I couldn't figure it out. So one year I said to him, "Pete, how come you get more eggs than I do?" And he said, "You have to think like an egg. You have to think where you might hide." And I got to thinking about that, and that's kind of true about Easter, isn't it? Sometimes we look in the wrong places for what we want to find. And I have a story about that this morning. I have a story about a woman named Mary who loved Jesus. And on the very first Easter day, Easter morning, she got up earlier than the rest of the family and decided she was going to go out to the tomb where they had buried Jesus, because she had some herbs and spices and things to take, but she didn't know how she was going to get inside the tomb because there was a big stone in front of it. But she thought that just being there, she'd be a little closer to Jesus because she missed him so much. And so she's making her way in the very first light of morning, and she goes out to this beautiful garden where this tomb is. And she's expecting to see a big stone, and she's amazed when she gets there because the stone has been rolled away. And she said, "I wonder who did that? Who could have left Jesus' tomb open?" And so she starts to go in, and as she starts to go in, 2 angels appear to her and say, "Mary, who are you hunting?" And she says, "Oh, I'm hunting Jesus. He died, and somebody has opened his tomb and taken his body. I'm afraid. What are we going to do? I'm so sad." And the angel said to Mary, "You're looking in the wrong place, Mary. Jesus isn't here. Jesus has risen just as he said he would. Go back and tell your friends that they will see him tonight in that same upper room where he fed you on Thursday." And so she ran back and told the disciples, and they came too and saw the empty tomb. And they realized Jesus was alive. He had risen just as he said he would. The end. To help you remember this story a little better, Thea and I have a little finger play. Nope, need you down there so you can watch me, baby. And do what I do, and you out there can do what I do as well. It was early in the morning on the first day of the week. Would you say that?
It was early in the morning on the first day of the week.
A woman came to the tomb. She was so sad she began to weep.
A woman came to a tomb, and she was so sad she began to weep.
"Woman, why are you crying?" said two angels sitting there.
Woman, why are you crying? Said two angels sitting there.
"They've taken away my Lord," she says, "and I do not know where."
They've taken away my Lord, and I do not know where.
The woman turned and saw a man standing in the morning light.
The woman turned and saw a man standing in the morning light.
At first she didn't know who he was. Then she cried out with delight.
At first she didn't know who he was, but then she cried out with delight.
The man standing there was Jesus. She could hardly believe her eyes.
The man that was standing there was Jesus. She could hardly believe her eyes.
The woman ran to tell her friends, "Jesus is alive!"
The woman ran to tell her friends, Jesus is alive!
Thank you all. I hope you all have a happy, happy Easter, and maybe I'll see you again sometime. Bye.
Don't forget this candy. Bye!